1998, we won the Asian Games gold medal, and suddenly you had the president of the federation who actually threw out 6 top players. Now, in 2014, we won an Asian Games gold medal. We have a bureaucratic tangle out here. I think it is about time for people to stop sending emails or talking through the media, but instead sit across the table, discuss it. They're all grown men. They've all seen the world. They've been all over the place.
But that's the problem, Mr. Krishnaswamy.
At this point of time,
when they sit across the table, only one person listens from one ear and throws it out. It's only when it comes out into the media and people are made aware that they become a little more conscious about it.
I think he should actually be discussing that with either with Batra or with Gigi Thomson. He
no,
should be sitting
Dr. Mr. Krishnaswamy, don't agree with you there. Don't agree with you there because
about it.
Because for the if Terry Walsh has come to a point where he has to quit to make a point, then clearly nobody was listening.
Anand, please. He is not a babe in the woods. He's not a babe in the woods.
He is not, and that is why I'm asking Krishnaswamy. That is why I'm asking Krishnaswamy. Are you trying to say it is okay for a Babu to decide that a junior player will get less food allowance than a senior player?
The Babus have actually messed up Indian sport. The Babus have messed up Indian sport.
So if Terry Walsh sits there and says, no, I will not tolerate this, why is he wrong?
Games, no manager. We saw all that in Incheon. Listen, Anand, I was there at Incheon. I was there at Glasgow. I was there in The Hague. I was at all these 3 places. There was an amazing amount of amazing amount of camaraderie between the players and the coach. This was for the first time in many years, and I've been around for 30 years covering all the Olympics, the Asian Games and the Commonwealth Games. It was amazing, and it was so good to see that there was at least some hope. We had a great sponsor, we had a federation which was finally trying to put things together. There was a system where the players were trusting the coach, and then you have something which actually comes out of nowhere. So I mean, I think this is misfortune. Your misfortune, my misfortune, and the sports misfortune.
No, the biggest thing, Khasab, I'm coming across to you. आप कैसे ये मान सकते हैं? कौन है ये जिसने ये तय किया है कि 2 प्लेयर दोनों हॉकी खेल रहे हैं क्योंकि एक जूनियर है उसको खुराक कम लगती है तो उसको पैसे कम देंगे? I mean, वहीं से बाबूगिरी नहीं छलकती आपको? साफ नहीं दिखता कि क्या हो रहा है?
बिल्कुल, देखिए क्या हो रहा है आनंद जी। हो क्या रहा है कि बाबू डम जो है ना, बाबू डम और जो ये जो मंडरीन्स हैं ये स्पोर्ट चला रहे हैं विदाउट अकाउंटेबिलिटी, है ना, और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी डालते हैं फेडरेशनों पे और सिलेक्शन पे और प्लेयरों के ऊपर कि हम तो कर रहे हैं। मैं कौन सा पहाड़ मतलब हेवन नहीं गिर जाएगा अगर 10 करोड़ 15 करोड़ जो भी बजट मांग रही है कोई फेडरेशन और विद अकाउंटेबिलिटी मांग रही है कि हम आपको इतना परसेंट इस लेवल तक का परफॉर्मेंस देंगे, तो क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? लेकिन चूंकि बाबू जैसे अभी आपने कहा कि जूनियर लेवल पे क्या डाइट होगी, सीनियर लेवल पे क्या डाइट होगी, किट किससे लिया जा रहा है, और जो ये फाइलों का जो चक्कर कि फाइनेंस के पास फाइल गई हुई है, पीएमओ की तरफ फाइल गई हुई है, तो आप ये बताइए कि हॉकी इन फाइलों में खेली जाएगी या इनके दफ्तरों में खेली जाएगी?
मैं तो ये कहता हूं, मैं तो ये कहता हूं, and Dr. Subbiah, this is what I would like to say, that let's make it mandatory for any Babu who takes charge of sports administration to at least prove that he knows the sport. Let a person who's responsible, who's a DG or who's responsible to take charge of hockey, be it in Hockey India or at Sports Authority of India, his test is not how much he scored in his administrative exams and the this that he has, the background that he has. Can he survive for 5 minutes on the hockey turf? Does he know how to even wield the hockey stick to even understand that when he clears a DA, less for a junior person and more for a senior person, he knows what he's doing?
See, the moment you have a DG or a secretary position for sports as a punishment, you will continue to get people like this. A sports posting
just wait,
for a Babu,
Dr. Subbiah is making a point.
Anybody,
I'll come to you.
It's always a punishment.
Please, I'm just going to go across to Dr. Subbiah and then I'll come to you, Krishnaswamy. Yes, Dr. Subbiah.
Yeah, I'm saying that's you're absolutely right what you said. All sports decision can't take it within 3 months or 6 months. It has to be taken immediately, then the paper might move. Because this sports decision has to be very fast. The time doesn't wait for you. The juniors will become seniors within no time. And the Junior World Cup will become a seniors. So you can't say that after 6 months I do or I will take 1 year. So I don't think we'll get anywhere we'll reach in the world level. Actually, now at least with the Hockey India, with the good financial support, they're supporting these players. It's good because we are played in a federation where the federation was not so strong. We are only dependent on the SAI. We know what all problems we faced. Actually, now at least federation is doing when SAI supports and if the government supports, I think hockey will definitely give a much better performance and will be one of the top beaters in a few years. But everything was going well, and this is a very small hitch. I think they should sit across the table and sort out, and they should retain Terry Walsh at least till the Olympics.
I think Dr. Batra wants to respond to that. Yes, Dr. Batra.
No, see, this thing came about 350 or 450 rupees when about the senior and junior difference. I think I want to make an important point that this year the Finance Ministry for Asian Games and Commonwealth Games gave an extra budget of 100 crores to be spent on the athletes and their preparation. Are you aware that only 20 crores was given to the NSS for preparation and 80 crores was transferred to a fund in SAI, which is not to be spent upon NSFs and only on their renovation and tours? So if this is how sports is going to be run and you're going to divert the funds meant for athletes to your own personal use, then what kind of results are we expecting from the federations or the coaches? Or this is what the problems are actually. And when he says about bureaucracy, his point was when Indian team went for Asian Games, it went without a masseur, without a physio and without a doctor. They cancelled all the names. And we had to send it on our own expense. So this is what Terry Walsh actually means about bureaucracy. These decisions really frustrate a person. They reached in Incheon and there was no booking for them. They had to wait 8 hours before they got a room to sleep after a long flight. So these are the problems he discussed with me today.
No, you know, are you trying to say, and you know what Terry Walsh said, Dr. Batra, I was shocked there when you said 100 crores, only 20 crores went to the NSFs and the rest has gone into a fund. We have to ask this to Jiji Thomson and the sports minister. Yeah. Where is that money? The other thing is, Terry Walsh said, after the Asian Games, and he said after the Asian Games, that funding and that extra largesse has stopped. So Rio 2016, what? If the Olympics are in August, they will give you the funds in Jan, is it? They don't believe that in the interim 1.5 years that players will train or they need that kind of help. Is that the case? Who are these people, sir? Who are these people?
Else also which
I think.
I think this is Mr. Jiji Thomson and
who's in charge of the team wings.
Yeah, yes, Ashish?
I think the person in charge of the team wings has to be professional. He has to play the sport and he has to understand what sports is about and not some babu running the team's wing department for every sport.
See, another frustration. I'll tell you one more reason which every athlete goes through and suffers through. They allow you to go back by trains. Now the camp is broken for a period of 10 or 12 days. A boy from Manipur has to go from Bangalore. He takes 5 days to reach, 5 days to come back by train. He just goes at the station, wishes his parents hello and goes back on the train. So this is what his frustration is. If the athletes, please make them travel by air. So these are the certain things which we need to discuss. And that's what when he was saying that things do need to be implemented down the line, they agree on the table, but nothing seems to come out. About 1.5 years back, it was agreed that they'll allow air travel for athletes. Until date, there's not a single order. So we are trying to help as much as we can within our limited resources. Like I said, 80 crores has gone to SAI for whatever we don't even know. The annual requirement for athletes to fly by air is 5.5 crores.
Right. Yeah, you know, the other thing is, you know, खान साहब एक और चीज़ मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा, ये कहाँ तक सही है? मैंने खुद देखा, हॉकी वर्ल्ड कप जो हुआ था दिल्ली में, वर्ल्ड कप खत्म होने के अगले दिन, on the flight back from Delhi to Mumbai, were 3 hockey players जो खेलने जा रहे थे सर, अपनी रिस्पेक्टिव कंपनीज के लिए खेलने जा रहे थे, और उसके कुछ महीनों बाद एशियन गेम्स से या एक बड़ी टूर्नामेंट आने वाली थी, तो मैंने बोला उसके लिए आप कब तैयारी करोगे? बोले सर ये तो खेलना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो नौकरी जाएगी।
बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं आनंद जी। मैं आपकी पूरी डिस्कशन में आपको मैं अपना किस्सा मतलब पर्सनल बताना चाहता था, जो गवर्नमेंट का एटीट्यूड क्या होता है। हम लोगों का कैंप लगा हुआ था पटियाला NIS में और गवर्नमेंट उसको रन कर रही थी, तो गवर्नमेंट ने ये तय कर दिया कि 7 रुपये पर डे का 7 रुपये पर डे का खाने का सैंक्शन है गवर्नमेंट का। उस ज़माने में 7 रुपये थे, तो कभी कोई चिकन नहीं, कोई मीट नहीं, कोई मिल्क नहीं, कोई बटर नहीं, सिर्फ टिंडे और दाल और ये सब्जी जब बहुत हो गया और एशियन गेम्स में खेलने जाना था इंडिया की टीम को, तो हम लोगों ने एक दिन प्रोटेस्ट करी और अल्टीमेटली डायरेक्टर ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स ने ये कहा, जो NIS के थे, कि आपको मालूम होना चाहिए आप 7 रुपए में आज जो यही मिलेगा, और आप क्या सोच रहे हैं, क्या पाकिस्तान वाले क्या गोश्त खा रहे हैं? वहाँ भी गधे का गोश्त खा रहे हैं वो लोग। तो आप ये सोचिए, गवर्नमेंट एटीट्यूड जो है ना स्पोर्ट्स में बिल्कुल फिट इन नहीं होता। आपको
सर वो एटीट्यूड इसलिए फिट नहीं होता क्योंकि उन्होंने कभी हॉकी खेली नहीं है। जो वहां बैठे हैं, जितने बाबू बैठे हैं, सबको, जितने भी स्पोर्ट्स को ओवरलुक कर रहे हैं, उनको सब मैदान में उतार दीजिए सर, सबकी असलियत सामने आ जाएगी। Do you agree or not, Mr. Bhimani? This is frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. Somebody like a Terry Walsh, if Krishnaswamy says he's a seasoned man, he's 60 years old, if he has to stand here and today and say, at the cost of embarrassing himself, say that I'm resigning because I have had enough. There's something is wrong, sir. Because
look at the fact of
because with Rick Charlesworth, Jose Brasa, Michael Nobbs, then this gentleman Terry Walsh, and in between some of the others, even our own Desi coaches, let's say Indian homegrown coaches, they weren't some of them sacked after they won an Asian Games medal? Is the case of Kaushik still there?
One quick comment, Anand. This is the same set of Babus who, after 1 week after the Asian Games had started, had still not sent the Akashvani team. And somebody asked a question, he said, well, the accounts have not been cleared yet. 1 week into the game, the accounts had not been cleared. Now, why these things are not done 6 months before, nobody knows. Actually, this whole mess is the lack of communication between the Hockey India, between the Sports Authority of India, between the hockey administration, and that's why everybody is pushing, well-meaning people like Dr. Batra, as we've heard. I mean, how can you get things done where there are so many bureaucratic hurdles? And Terry Walsh, as I said before, Australians don't work that way. They want a quick decision.
No, why can't we remove the bureaucratic hurdles?
This is why our
Dr. Batra, why can't we remove the bureaucratic hurdles?
I wish we could.
Why can't we do it? Why can't Hockey India say, I'm not going to depend, we are not going to depend on Sports Authority of India. Like the BCCI, we'll generate our own funds, because there are enough corporates today in India who want to back the sport of hockey. And we saw that, sir.
Can I get a word in?
No. I'll tell you. Let me explain that enough corporates in last 3. No, 1 minute. In last 3 years, I have met any corporate you name in India, and I have met them. It's very nice to talk on TV. We are willing to support. When you go to them and ask for sponsorship, they stop taking your calls. So it's not true. That in reality, that is not true. I have travelled all over India, met everyone, and that is the real position. Let me tell you that.
Yes, Mr.
And
Krishnaswamy,
we do
Can
need
I get a word in
support.
here?
Yeah.
See, I think there are two people here, apart from the sports persons. One is the administration, the federation, the National Sports Federation, and the other is the Government of India. The Government of India is, I mean, by and large, it's the North and the South Avenues are run by Babus. And Babus by nature, they're not sports persons, you know. They are file pushers and file clearers. People who clear the files, people who look at the accounts. They basically, if you ask them to choose a team, he will look at cold statistics, which even any bank clerk can do it, forget about a sports specialist. So I think the jobs must be clarified. What does a Babu do in the government, in the sports ministry, and what does the National Sports Federation do? I think the moment that happens, if the National Sports Federation says A, B, C has to be done, it is because it is supposed to have the expertise and also is backed by a coach and the needs of a team. But if the Babu says, no, listen, I can't give you a ticket today, I will only give you a ticket for day after tomorrow because your allowances for 5 days and not 7 days, that I think is completely ridiculous. And that is what we are bogged down by. The Babu should do his logistics and should listen to what the experts say, which in this case is the coach, the players and the National Sports Federation. But we have completely lost track, clarity on what the respective roles are. And I think that is what the problem is.
The problem is that, the team might have to go for a match day after tomorrow or on Friday, but it is Diwali. How can you expect a Babu to work or clear files at that time? अरे मैच क्या 2 दिन बाद खेलेंगे, कल दिवाली है भाई, मैं नहीं काम कर सकता हूँ. That's the attitude, Ashish Balal. Whatever will happen after my holidays are over.
A lot of things have to be.
You are here for a long weekend from now on, so you won't hear much about it till Monday.
No, I think here the media has to take more a proactive stance. the media really knows what's happening inside, but it's only such situations happen that the media talks about it. The media knows very well that the players are, what kind of diet the players are getting. It's only in such situations that such things come out, and we talk about it for a couple of days, and then everything settles down. Even we had an ex-president who said the media will talk, they have verbal diarrhea for a couple of days and then they'll be okay. So
was that the man who sacked you?
Persist this and see, and they have to be more proactive in this.
In fact, Dr. Subbiah, it's appalling the kind of details that are coming out now, the kind of personal anecdotes. But what's of primary concern at this point is that our chances at Rio 2016 should not be wrecked. What should be done now? Because Khan Sahab spoken earlier of how a Swachh sports campaign is what is the need of the hour. What should be done immediately to ensure that our chances at a gold in hockey are not wrecked?
Yeah, first we had to sit across with the Terry Walsh and with the Federation, with the SAI, we have to sit and talk and we have to solve this problem, Terry Walsh problem. That is a very small problem. I feel it. It's not a big issue at all. And in SAI, if I say that some players who are really good in administration, they should get on deputation if they can't appoint anybody. Because at least for the next Olympics, whenever we are training, at least they can take some good decision, give a good suggestion. Because at the
Dr.
present
Subbiah,
people who
it's
are
not happening in the federations. How do you expect it to happen in SAI? Sports players don't get into federations. How will they get into SAI, sir?
No. If I say I am part of the Hockey India, I know how it is now. It is how it was before. So we are much. I am very satisfied how the federation is running, especially in hockey. If you see the other federation also, all are they trained abroad. They're all doing well. All the good academies started. They're all doing well because of that. It's not because of any SAI program. All the shooting, badminton, everything is doing well because they are sponsored by some private people or their own academy. Because of all that programs they are coming, these players are winning.
Kishore Bhimani, something is happening.
Otherwise, if you see
something good is happening, because after a long time I am seeing players who are part of federations now say the federations are more proactive. They are allowing sports players to come and work and help, which is welcome. So and if so, now there is hope, and Dr. Subbiah believes there is hope, and Dr. Subbiah now believes that the Sports Authority of India should also open up to this. Perhaps somewhere in 2022 that might happen.
Well, that systemic change is overdue. It's the players who will know the problems of the players. Players will know that the diet of the younger player is probably higher than that of the older player. All these little things that you have to have. I mean, I have seen one small incident I'll share with you as far as hockey is concerned. I remember Dr. M.M. Ramaswamy was then heading up the Hockey Association, and the team had landed in Chennai after winning the Gold Cup at Kuala Lumpur. And they had landed there, and each one of them had been gifted a video cassette recorder. And they couldn't make up their minds whether to allow this without duty. So Dr. M.M. Ramaswamy, the president of the board, then said, I am paying the whole lot duty. These hockey players have brought honors to India. Now let us not be bureaucratic about it. But they were going to check with Delhi if they could allow these things to be brought in. I, standing at Chennai airport, felt very, very embarrassed when the cricketers come in 6 suitcases full of loaded with this. We have to, as Indians, expect and give respect to hockey also. And occasionally be flexible in our rule making.
Flexible in our rule making, that's something Terry Walsh asked for. Dr. Batra, is it possible? Will Hockey India, can you give this assurance to the people of the country here on the Newshour that you will do whatever you can in your abilities and in your offices to hold Terry Walsh back? And to make sure that even a junior player gets the same amount of food and allowance that as a senior player does, because he puts the same amount of effort, sir.
No, I'll answer all your questions one by one. Terry Walsh, I've given him all the assurances. He's meeting DG SAI tomorrow. So let me see if there are any shortfalls, we'll talk about it. And
we'll be there right outside, sir, tomorrow.
No problem, no problem. You were outside my office also when Terry Walsh was meeting me. So your people were the first to come there in my office. So that's not an issue. And secondly, regarding this, your other question was regarding free rules and all. Terry Walsh and Roland Altman have complete freedom to run the game. There is no interference from Hockey India at all. We run the logistics part, and they run this all the technical training part. So he has complete freedom. His issues may be diverted towards Hockey India. That's what you may feel, but we try to be as proactive as possible and move the things as fast as possible. But I have tried and explained to him that normal time you can expect in India is 2 weeks. If you want something done today, it takes 2 weeks. That's the government procedure. Wherever we can support, we go immediately without even waiting for a minute, and within our budget we try and fix it up for him immediately.
Where?
But this is how the system is, and this was explained to him even before he joined, that this is a reason you need to be very much aware of, and he was very much aware of all these things.
Well, Dr. Batra, for a large part of what Terry Walsh shared with us, it looked like he had more issues with the way the system was functioning rather than his personal issues and demands. And he has made a commitment here to the people of the country as coach of the national team that it's not about pay. He's willing to bend over backwards to make sure this team does well. So let's hope he lives up to his commitment when he meets the DG Sai.
No,
and
let's hope the
DG Sai lives up to his commitment.
No, 1 minute. No, I don't agree it's about pay increase. It definitely is. If you ask him for 120 days without... No, he's worth the money. I don't dispute that. But his statement saying that he's not interested in money. No, if you're asking for... No, if you're asking for 120 days paid leave, so that is increase in your wages. So there is a money issue, but that's not an issue for keeping such an important person.
Bro, and he said that that's not the major issue. I'm willing to work around it. I'm also flexible, provided the Babus are a little flexible. Let's just get all of them down onto the hockey turf and get them to learn this game of hockey so they respect our sports persons, our coaches. And we've had enough of these debates. We don't want to see any more of these. We want the Indian team at the top of the podium at Rio 2016. And Terry Walsh can help make that happen. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.